Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. You're watching Not at All a Review. My name is Hriday Ranjan. This week's movie is Balagam. The film is written and directed by Venu Yeladandi, who was earlier popular on the show Jabardast. The film stars Priyadarshi, Kavya Kalyanram and others. Now, Buddha says that death is the only truth in life. It is the only constant. Everything else is just a case of motives and what ifs. Balagam, written and directed by Venu Yeladandi, is a film that looks at life through the lens of death. It uses a funeral to tell the story of a family with empathy, love and quirkiness. Sailu is a young man in a village. When his grandfather Komaraiya passes away, his family has to get together to conduct the final rites. However, this puts Sailu in a tricky spot because he owes somebody some money and his grandfather's abrupt passing away throws a spanner in his well-laid plans. What follows after is the absurd circus of a funeral, of a family coming together to mourn but unable to deal with the complexities in their own lives. Tensions begin to brew and layers are peeled off as the people in the family, their friends and neighbors and even the entire village gets involved in the matter. Director Venu Yeladandi chooses to make a film according to his own strengths, and that works out well for the movie. Instead of fitting into existing tropes, writer-director Venu uses his knowledge of the culture, the customs and the intricacies of the dialect to drive the story forward. The other really impressive part of this film is its technical soundness. Most smaller budget films that are based in a rural setup usually make their films in a simplistic manner, without much fanfare or any sense of a personal style. And that is where Balagam stands out from the rest. It might be a simple story, but it is quirky and whimsical. The film feels like a personal tour of a village. The director squeezes every drop of detail from his surroundings, and much like real life, the film is filled with quirky little touches. The personal agendas involved in a public funeral, the petty egos, the emotional blackmail that always runs in families. This sense of adventure in the filmmaking process also reflects in the technical departments. Cinematographer Acharya Venu goes about the camera work with all the earnestness of a film school student. We get drone shots, we get single take shots, we get extreme close-ups of beards, scars and acne, adding to the realistic feel of the film. The editing is also done on the same lines. Even if the film is a simple, grounded story, the editing of the film is sharp yet subtle. It acts like a fast-forward button, zipping past the mundane and slowing down when the characters all lose their minds and have a go at each other. Bhim Cicerilio's background score might be rather ordinary, but his songs are wonderful. They carry the flavor of the mud, the cow dung, the dusty roads of the village. If there was anything about the film that disappointed me, it was the large leaps of imagination that the story takes whenever it's convenient. After a point, it feels like someone who has studied screenplay writing went to the director and advised him that the stakes have to keep on increasing, and so those bits were added to the film later. It feels like that. The script is also guilty of leaving a few threads unaddressed, untied, even after harping upon them for a long time. However, these are minor grudges in a film that decides to follow its heart rather than the rules of screenwriting. The performances of the film are good across the board. I looked online and I couldn't find the name of the casting director of this movie, but whoever did the casting for this movie deserves a pat on the back. The actors chosen for the film are so delightfully cast. For example, Darshi's uncle looks exactly like Darshi, like an older version. The women in the film are fiery and acid-tongued. It's a delightful motley crew of actors that come together in perfect harmony. Kavya Kalyanram benefits from a role that the director treats with an empathetic lens. We usually harp on about de-glamorized, no makeup looks, but this is a role that is de-glamorized of emotions. So what we get is a living, breathing heroine for a change. Priyadarshi is always a different beast when he gets to play the lead. He seamlessly fits into the film's milieu as the cheeky, good-natured Sailu who will go out of his way to help you, definitely, but he won't hold back from an opportunity to take advantage. The standout actor in the film for me was Muralidhar Gaud, who plays Narayana, a man who holds a 20-year grudge over a laughably trivial matter. So, would I recommend the film Balagam to a companion? Yes, I would. Balagam is a film that doesn't care about rules and templates. It tells its own story at its own pace, in its own style. Towards the end, the film seems bogged down by its own weight, but for the most part, I loved Balagam and the world it presents to us. Thank you so much for watching our review of the movie Balagam. For more videos, reviews and interviews, please subscribe to Film Companion South on YouTube. Thank you.